bonus features.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 55 of Bonus Features with Alex and Robert. I'm Robert.
And I'm Alex.
So we begin, as we always do, with our pointless interlude of sports that may or may not be 2 minutes.
Okay, so with UFC, I'll just gloss over a few fights since we've last done this. So, Valentina Shevchenko defeated Liz Carmouche. She got her revenge 8 years later or whatever. Apparently it was kind of a boring fight, whatever. She has no plans to fight Amanda Nunes, she says, for right now, but we know that's a goddamn dirty lie. Because she's just that much better than everyone in her division right now. Dustin Poirier, Daniel Cormier, they got similar names. Dustin Poirier versus Khabib was an interesting fight. It really was. Because there's a point where he had him in guillotine. I thought he was going to fucking finish him. But Khabib's he's just too good.
He's the champ.
No, I mean, like, he's just that much better. But you know what? On his feet, Dustin Poirier looked like the better fighter.
Yeah.
I mean, but we already knew that, like, Khabib is clearly grappling focused.
Oh, yeah.
If you were to choose a discipline he's better at, obviously grappling rather than striking.
Well, as we saw, though, in the old Khabib-Conor fight, some of his punches, when they land, they pack a wallop.
No, I mean, his striking has improved a lot over the years.
But it's definitely not his strong suit.
No, it's definitely not his main thing.
Right.
Let's see, there's a couple others. I don't know, there's a lot. We got the baddest man on the planet title. It's an unofficial new belt.
Oh, okay.
Between Jorge Masvidal and Nate Diaz.
That sounds fun.
Oh, yeah, that was another one. Nate Diaz won his fight against Pettis.
Okay.
I hate watching those because I like both of them, so it's kind of sucks someone has to lose. Paul Felder beat Edson Barboza. I couldn't fucking believe it.
Huh.
I mean, I underrated Paul Felder. That's what happened. It was a close fight, though. It was really, really close. Just sucks. I'd like to see Barboza. He's just a tiny step away from being like sort of closer to a title fight. I don't know. So that's UFC. There's a lot of shit going on with that. I'm looking forward to the what the hell they're calling it? Baddest man on the planet belt.
Yeah,
that's gonna be a doozy.
I feel like a real heel because I've been really skimping on my not just UFC but MMA in general.
Yeah.
So I really I have to check that one out.
Oh, I have no dude. I've been skimping on the what's it called Bellator. I have no idea what's going on.
Me neither.
Last I checked, there was the welterweight Grand Prix. I think. No idea what's going on with that. Well, I mean, there's always good stuff going on. What's it called? Not Deontay Wilder. Anthony Joshua Ruiz 2. That's expected to happen at the end of the year. All right, so moving on to the non-punching and the kicking sports. Why?
Well, at least where it's not allowed.
Not generally.
Yeah.
Hockey hasn't started. What's going on with the Cubs?
They're still in a tight division race with the Cardinals, who are 4 games ahead, but we play we have 7 games against them, so it could go either way, this division. It's been a weird year for the Cubs. I've been telling myself the whole year, you know what, Robert? It's been a weird year, but at least when September comes around, you'll have something else to look forward to Chicago sports-wise, and just sports-wise in general. The NFL season, specifically the Chicago Bears season. All right, so we opened our season with the loss against the Packers. That happened last year, right? Well...
And that's why we played that song again.
Yeah, well, it wasn't a very impressive game on any side of the ball.
Yeah, I was surprised I knew the Packers were not going to be as good this year, but Jesus Christ, did both teams look flat.
Yeah, it was a pretty flaccid game all over. I sum it up the best by saying, and a lot of people already have, this isn't a hot take. Look, man, last year the offense had 30 to 40 snaps in preseason. First game, they drive that ball up the field and they score a touchdown in the first drive against Green Bay. This year, they had 0 snaps in the preseason, and they did that shit.
Which is such bullshit. I don't understand why you wouldn't at least, do a series at the very least, just to get back out there. I don't know. Well, I know that's not a hot take either, but that's kind of a problem when it's just so obvious.
Well, thankfully, they will be going up against the man that they call the statue, Mr. Joe Flacco, who's not a very mobile quarterback, so maybe we can get some takeaways, get a few peanut punches in.
Yeah.
So we'll hopefully see a Bears win here and go up 1-1.
I hope so. Mitch had some troubles throwing that ball. Just run it, Jesus Christ.
Yeah, and that play calling was weird.
No, that's what I mean. There's a lot of things that seemed off.
The O-line had half as many penalties as they had all year last year in one game.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah, something was weird. Mitch should just, what Mitch should do? He should run the ball for the first 3 games only.
Let's do it.
Not only, but be primarily a running guy and then get to the passing later.
Or let's see, I don't know, Tariq Cohen's a Bear, right? Let's use him.
I feel like he's a rhythm guy though.
That's true.
Weirdly, like a quarterback, he needs to be playing the whole time. I feel like he doesn't do well when he's splitting time.
Right. Him and that Montgomery guy. I want to see him more in Denver, so hopefully we'll get it.
All right. So that could be a thing. I don't know. I got low hopes is what I'm trying to say.
Well, I got low hopes for this whole NFL season because the best team in the NFL just got the best wide receiver in the NFL, so
that being
Antonio Brown.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Yeah, I forgot about that.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens there. The NFL just started to become like I was going to say the two things that
I was going to say the Patriots are like Disney.
Well, the Patriots are like Disney, but they're all it's becoming like NCAA football and like what the NBA has been for the past few years. You know what those two things have in common?
What's that?
They're two things I haven't given a fuck about.
Yeah.
But, we'll see.
That's the way it goes though.
Come on, NFC. Let's mount an effort here.
Yeah. So that'll do it for our 2-minute pointless interlude. Unless you've got some pressing matters in that sport. It's like volleyball, but like you use kicking. I don't know what the fuck it's called.
It's not pickleball. That's like
no. It's from Thailand, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Is it called football?
No, it's like Saparkatau.
Okay.
You know the one I'm talking about?
No.
It's a net sport. It's like volleyball, but you use your feet.
Oh.
It's a net sport.
Okay.
Okay, so you don't have any pressing matters in that.
No.
Never. I don't even know what it's called. That bit failed miserably. Anyway, moving on. It's time to start the news. Our top story is the Spider-Man divorce. Yes, that's right. The story heard around the world. Spider-Man is leaving the MCU because negotiations with Disney and Sony have fallen through. Now, some background information to what has happened. So, when Spider-Man quote-unquote returned home to the MCU, he kind of didn't, because there was a lot of weird rules and stipulations about, I think it was like, he could only be in MCU movies if they were team-ups. I mean, like, the non-Spider-Man solos. But for some weird reason, Iron Man and other characters could be in the Spider-Man solo movies. But the idea was there was a 5% first dollar gross deal with Disney because they had some of their guys, like Kevin Feige, for example, come in as consultants and help produce the movie. So they made 5% of every dollar made. But what they wanted to do now was change that. Hey guys, so remember how we said we wanted 5%? Well, this time we'll help you make the movie. We'll split the financing 50-50. We also want 50% of the profit. It makes sense, guys. 95%, that's too much. You don't want all that. You gotta spread the wealth.
Yeah.
Yeah, so basically they tried to say, we want 50-50 now, and we're going to help finance it, and Sony told them to eat a bag of shit.
Not for lack of a better phrase.
Yeah, for lack of a better phrase. I don't know if that's a direct quote.
Yeah, there's been a whole lot of fast ones being pulled and a whole lot of asses being shown, and it's just been a weird couple of weeks for this. Obviously, This isn't quote unquote news, but we haven't opined on it.
Yeah.
So we're just going to say right off the bat that I know for a fact you and I are simpatico on this, in that I absolutely am not a big fan of organizations in tremendous positions of power, Disney being the one in question here, getting more power. So props to Sony for standing their ground on this.
Good for them.
They even, and it's not like they're being unreasonable. They even came back to the table and like, okay, we'll do like 70-30 if you want. Isn't that what they said? Or 60-40 or something?
I don't know, but the point was, it's like, you have to make this worth our while. Mm-hmm. And here's my question for you, Robert. Who do you think is getting the raw end of the deal? And do you think this is going to hurt one of the two companies, either Sony or Marvel? Or rather, Sony or Disney?
I think, if anything, it's already hurt Sony just in terms of optics, which sucks because, again, like Disney, I feel like we as a public, like, we just been conditioned to like the mouse. And like, I love Disney. I love what the company means as an American thing. Like, it's a very good story overall. The Walt Disney story is great, but like, God damn it, they do some shady shit. And this is amongst the shady shit. And I wish there was more of a. I was saying to myself, I said like the day it happened, I'm like, they're gonna figure it out. There's no way this is for real, and it's been weeks. And yet, there's nothing that has happened.
I think it's totally for real, because what does Sony really have to lose? Because Spider-Man is already kind of, I don't want to say it's too big to fail, but it kind of is. Mm-hmm. It's not like this movie's just going to magically make like 400 and be like a semi-bomb. Mm-hmm. I can't believe that's a bomb number. But
right.
If you factor in marketing, that'd mean they'd only make like 100 million. My point is, I feel like it's a question of need and want. Mm-hmm. Disney wants Spider-Man to stay in the MCU, but I feel like Sony needs Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Think about this. Remember how, not even 2-3 years ago, they were on the brink of just collapse. Mm-hmm. They had a bunch of movies flop.
They had The Hack.
The Hack and a bunch of other shit happened, but then all of a sudden, Jumanji saved their asses.
It was the crazy one that just surpassed all expectations, made $1 billion plus, did really well overseas.
It made close to $1 billion. It was like 9 something.
Are you sure?
I'm pretty goddamn sure it was 9 something.
I'm gonna fact check you.
All right, fine. Go ahead and fact check me.
You're probably right, but I know it made damn near, if not almost, $1 billion.
Point is, it made a lot of money. It saved them, and then Venom, which for whatever reason, even though it was kind of a mediocre movie, did extremely well also. Mm-hmm. So that, on top of the fact, here's another thing. Okay, what was Sony's biggest problem with this Venom and Marvel, Sony Marvel universe? That they were trying to make a Spider-Man universe without Spider-Man.
Well, that's not a problem.
Yeah, that is no longer a problem.
Right. By the way, you were absolutely right. Neither of those movies made $1 billion, but they made close.
Yeah,
it further justified Sony's. It put confidence back in their piggy bank. Right.
Oh no, so that's what I'm saying. Sony sort of needs them, and now all of a sudden the Venom and the some C, as the cool kids were saying, Sony universe of Marvel characters, don't think that's ever going to catch on, but maybe it will now.
They're trying to dig themselves out of a hole, and one of the things,
and this just made it a lot easier.
Yeah, and you know what else has really kind of given me a vote of confidence towards them is I've heard a lot of people say, well, they're just going to fuck Spider-Man up again. It's like, I don't know how I feel about that, because Sony happens to be solely responsible for the best Spider-Man movie that I've ever seen. Arguably, the least common denominator between us is that it's easily the best Spider-Man movie since Spider-Man 2 in 2004, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse.
Right, and although that's an animated Spider-Man movie, that is just a Sony product.
No Kevin Feige. Sony just went to a couple creators, what do you call them?
The Lord and Miller guys.
And said, look, man.
I don't know their first names. They're too generic.
Phil Lord and Chris Miller?
This is what I'm saying.
Yeah. At least they're not 3 names.
That's true.
But no, they went to a couple creators who had a unique voice. And we're like, all right, you guys want to have a pitch for us?
Chris Xavier Miller and Phil Fauntleroy Lord?
Jr.?
Yeah, whatever. Anyway, no.
But it worked out. And it's the best Spider-Man movie I've seen in a long time, and it's better than both of the Marvel things I've seen that are associated with Spider-Man.
Also, correct me if I'm remembering things wrong. Unless my memory's a little hazy, Did Disney not just buy Fox?
Yeah, they're going to be
So they've
fine.
got X-Men and Fantastic Four characters to deal with. Mm-hmm. It's not like they have any shortage of characters. Oh, by the way, Guardians of the Galaxy took about 4 or 5 characters no one gave a shit about. And that includes I wouldn't say a majority, but a good chunk of people who like comics. Mm-hmm. Didn't give a shit about them. They actually changed a lot of them drastically from the comics. And guess what? No one gave a shit that they changed them, and they made a hit movie. So if Guardians of the Galaxy proved anything, and I've said this before and I'll say it again, it proved that if you do it right, you can make any of these characters a big deal. So there's
a character that I have a quota for mentioning every so often, which is The Wall.
Yeah.
Make a The Wall movie. You could do it. They'll see it because you made a brand. You built a brand over 10 years.
But then DC's going to copy that and be like, see, you can do anything. Arm falls off, boy. Yep.
It had to happen.
Yeah. I knew you were going to read my mind on that. But anyway.
Oh, man.
No, but the point is, there's no shortage of Marvel characters they haven't done.
No, you're right.
Like, you could do that Dark Hawk guy or whatever the fuck his name. All the new Warriors, like, none of those characters have been done yet, I don't think.
No, I think you're right.
There's a number of them. You could, do a real Iron Fist instead of a bullshit one. There's a lot of things left. And then that's on top of the Fantastic Four and X-Men characters.
That you just acquired.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the X-Men, that's enough to fill its own universe.
Yeah, think of all the characters in X-Men that we haven't seen yet.
Right.
There's a lot. The ones that we haven't seen done right.
Or the ones that were kind of done right, but only in the movie for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Psylocke, Bishop.
Yeah, Bishop was barely there.
Yeah. There are a couple others.
Yeah.
Omega Red.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that did not count. Give us a real Omega Red. That'd be fucking dope.
Mm-hmm. Give us a Gambit.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Also, that's one that's been in demand by fans for a long time.
That's one that Fox can get off the ground.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is I'm not lamenting this as much as everybody else. I say good on Sony for standing their ground and sticking up for themselves.
I'm actually perfectly happy about this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, not perfectly happy about this, but I think this is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Who knows? Maybe this will make. Now, this is being optimistic, and I know that's a crazy thing to be, but maybe this will make the Sony Spider-Man thing better.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely could. See you in the Morbius movie coming out next year.
Okay, I take that everything I said about the Spider-Man movies being. I don't know. Maybe it'll be like a DC thing, it stumbles a bit.
Sure, it could.
And then just kind of figures it out as it goes.
Yeah.
I don't know. Mulan style.
Yeah,
She figures things out as she goes.
Yeah, okay.
That was a real random pull.
No, it could work.
That's at the end, when she's snooping around the castle.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
That's a good movie.
Yeah, it is a good movie. I don't think the new one's going to be very good.
There's no singing in it.
Yeah, come on now.
The songs will be in it, but they won't be sung. And I'm like, why am I watching this?
Wait, they're just what are they going to do? William Shatner style? Be a man. You must be as swift as a raging river. Be a man. With all the strength of a great typhoon.
Let's get down to business.
To defeat the Huns, did they send me daughters when I very most specifically asked for sons? He's going to add his own little bits in there.
We can only hope.
Okay, so the Mulan movie's probably going to be bad. Who cares? All right, what are we talking about?
Well, I think we're going to move on to our next story.
Yes, good segue.
Okay.
All right, next section. Take us away.
So D23 happened a little bit ago, a week or so ago, and a bunch of television shows, Marvel-related ones specifically, were announced. These include She-Hulk, Moon Knight, Miss Marvel, which is being show ran by Bisha K. Ali, and also a Disney Channel original series, Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, produced by Lawrence Fishburne and Helen Sugland.
All right, so going down the list, which of these do we care about? Which of these do we not care about?
I'm going to be honest with you. I kind of don't really care about any of them. Except for maybe like She-Hulk.
I was gonna say, I think She-Hulk is the only one that I give a shit about out of all of these.
She's the only character that I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, they haven't done her yet. Like Moon Knight, I could go either way on.
I could see them doing a good courtroom thing and making it funny.
Yeah, it could be fun.
I think, well, because the obvious parallel is what's a superhero show that's courtroom?
Right.
Harvey Birdman.
Of course.
So if it went that kind of style, I think that could work out. Also, She-Hulk's just had some good comics over the years.
Right. She's got, she's been undersung mostly, and
yeah,
I'm kind of shocked. Well, that's a weird thing. Is she owned by Universal?
No, apparently, I don't know. Apparently not. But the thing about She-Hulk is she's one of those characters who, although a counterpart, is a pretty good one. Mm-hmm. Like Aqualad sucks. Like Donna Troy is kind of like who cares. Mm-hmm. But like Batgirl, She-Hulk, and like Robin, I guess.
Nightwing.
Yeah, right. Like even though they're sort of their own thing. But yeah, you get what I'm saying. Like there's certain sidekicks or counterpart characters that are pretty good, and she's actually pretty well developed because of the lawyer thing. And like, I don't know. She's got some personality. She's funny or whatever. Mm-hmm. So I think that has a chance to be pretty good. Moon Knight I don't have any interest in because Moon Knight to me has always been...
Not as good Batman?
Not as good Batman, Punisher, and Iron Man. Yeah, basically Iron Man, Batman, Punisher are the three that I say he has a lot in common with in one way or another.
Right.
But I find all three of those characters much better and more compelling.
Yeah.
Ms. Marvel I don't give a shit about.
Yeah.
That's just going to be... It's like it's just the new comics,
right?
From like the Marvel Now era, like all that shit sucks.
And Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur, any sort of feelings towards those?
I don't know. That could be cool.
Is it going to be animated?
Yeah.
Okay, I feel a little bit better about that.
Yeah, because that's going to be on the Disney Channel.
Yeah, the animated stuff is better. I mean, I would have.
Yeah, I've read a couple of those comics, but I think it was because Hulk was guest starring. Whatever, they're pretty good.
Okay,
they're fine.
Yeah.
I think that'll be mostly just a good old-fashioned fun show.
Yeah, I'm intrigued, and Marvel is sort of what do you call it? They're expanding animated TV.
That's kind of why I was interested in this.
With What If, and also we can't forget the Hulu Marvel shows, the MODOK and Howard the Duck.
Yeah, I haven't heard much about those.
Yeah, they've been pretty radio silent recently.
Right.
But
well, see, that's kind of why I'm interested in whatever the hell is Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Because it's just, why don't you read the premise if you got it up?
The show is about a 13-year-old genius named Lunella who summons the Devil Dinosaur to modern New York and fights crime with him on the Lower East Side.
Okay, so this sounds kind of cool.
Yeah.
I feel like this could be kind of like a superhero version of Dexter's Lab.
Yeah, or like...
But with the dinosaur.
Yeah, like a Powerpuff Girls type episodic, just like who's the bad guy this week type show.
That's what I mean. This, I don't know. I think it's the fact that it's the super genius angle has a little more going for it than, hey, Moon Knight, it's this thing we've already seen before. Mm-hmm. And Miss Marvel, which is kind of, hey, look, it's this thing we've already seen before.
Right, Moon Knight, this totally is an Arrow.
Yeah, and Miss Marvel, this totally isn't like...
Supergirl?
Yeah, exactly. Like,
yeah.
We've seen this shit before.
I mean, even She-Hulk is different. You're like, yeah, this is like, also, it's Hulk, but she's a lawyer.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I mean. There's something where it can, intertwine the regular and real world.
Right.
Or sorry, what the fuck? The super heroic and the regular world.
I mean, like, I guess you can make the Daredevil comp, but like Daredevil's not... They didn't have the same powers of the Hulk.
Yeah, exactly. So it'd be kind of fun. I just imagine She-Hulk being a show where she's trying to, have her day in court, like do some shit in court, and then like people just smash through the courtroom. I'm expecting lots of scenes like that.
Sure.
Yeah. But also, what's the showrunner's name again?
Bisha K. Ali for Miss Marvel.
Why are they choosing these people? Like, she did that show on, was it Hulu or Amazon, called like 4 Weddings and a Funeral? And I thought, yeah, because this screams out superhero. Let's do that. Mm-hmm. I don't get this.
Seems to be a trend with Marvel.
Why do they keep hiring like people who do these like rom-coms and shit like that. Mm-hmm. Especially like when those shows, the show on what the fuck's it called, like Amazon, it's getting really good reviews because it's just like 100,000 really rabid fans, and then the rest of the world, it's like, what is this? It's like, it's like, you gotta see this show. Oh, what is it? Oh, it's a Jack Ryan show. Mm-hmm. But isn't Harrison Ford like 70? Oh, it stars the Jim from The Office. Oh, no, thank you.
Yeah.
No, wow, I kind of want to hurt you for suggesting I'd watch that.
Right.
Like that's how I feel like normal people react.
Right.
When you tell them about these like really niche shows.
Yeah, and there's just the whole other concept that we go on and on and on about, which is streaming services and how many there are, and just the difficulty of
God, I know.
keeping up with it all. But
Disney Plus is onto some things though.
Because
they got
reruns.
Allegedly,
yes,
they will have Tailspin and Gargoyles and all those old ass Disney shows,
and X-Men and Spider-Man. Allegedly.
all the Marvel cartoons.
That's quite a grab.
So basically, none of this is really exciting to us except She-Hulk and maybe Moon Girl and what the fuck
Devil
is it?
Dinosaur.
Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur. Jesus,
yes.
It's not that hard. So those are really the only two that sound super exciting. So not much new there.
No.
Oh, well. So moving on to our next topic. The Mandalorian trailer came out a couple weeks ago.
Also a D23.
Oh, yeah, so this is, of course, the Star Wars show that seems to be mostly focused on bounty hunters.
Yes.
And, well, just when I thought I was starting to be out, they pulled me back in.
Yeah. This trailer's pretty goddamn good. And we've seen leaked footage and a bunch of other stuff, but yeah, it's the more and more I hear about this, the more and more I'm on the fence about, not even on the fence about Disney Plus. I'm like virulently, I don't want it. I don't want to want it.
Right.
But like the more I hear about this and see, I'm like, damn, this looks good.
It's basically like the Walmart episode of South Park. Mm-hmm. They're all like, we're not going to shop there. And then they just can't stop.
Yeah.
The deals are too good.
Right.
That's basically this trailer, especially because Star Wars, I was just really starting to not give a shit, and I still don't want to see Episode 9.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm still staying strong, damn it. Mm-hmm. Even with the stubs, I'm not going to do it.
No, I don't blame you.
But this is doing the one thing that I kept saying would make me interested in Star Wars again. We've seen the Jedi because of the prequels. We've seen enough Jedi. We've seen the Rebel Alliance. We've seen the Empire. Mm-hmm. What's left that we haven't seen? What's left that we haven't seen as a main focus? The bounty hunters.
Yeah.
So now they're finally doing that. We're going to focus on the bounty hunters.
Right.
And the other thing is, just initial reaction to the trailers, the production values are very high. Because I was really curious to know what a Disney Plus show is going to look like. Mm-hmm. Because if it was going to look like an Amazon Prime show, I was going to say this is totally not worth it, etc., etc. But if this is the standard for Marvel shows, I'm just that much more curious to see the two shows that I care about. Basically the Falcon and Winter Soldier and kind of Hawkeye, maybe. I don't know.
Right.
Hawkeye could be okay, but mostly just those two.
Did you ever watch the Genndy Tartakovsky Star Wars Clone Wars show back in the day?
I saw a few episodes, but I don't know it like religiously. Although I did see the movie based on it. It was pretty good.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
I mean, a lot of people thought the movie sucked, but I thought it was okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, this trailer kind of reminded me of it. Just it gave me a little bit of memories for it because it was it was a very quiet show, not a lot of dialogue, very action focused. The trailer was very much that, a lot of action, not a whole lot of dialogue. I'm assuming the main character isn't going to be doing a whole lot of talking, but I could be wrong about that. It's also said that this takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi. Question the first: do you think this main character is Boba Fett? That somehow crawled or escaped out of the Sarlacc pit. No?
Well, it could be one of those bullshit, like, slow burn things. episode 20 or whatever, it was Boba Fett all along. I don't know. I don't care. The point, like, I'm more concerned around the fact that it's bounty hunters. Do I think it's Boba Fett? Probably not. I don't think there'd be any way that would get past the amount of rumor mill shit that makes it to the internet nowadays.
I also like the fact that this is 8 episodes long.
Oh, okay. See, I can work with 8 episodes.
As I also can, and I this has got a huge budget, $120 million for a TV show. That's a fair bit. So this is coming out November 12th. I'm really looking forward to it. The cast is really good. Got some Bill Burr in there,
so
as we
you
mentioned.
can pony up the money?
No.
Yeah, so we're not going to watch this is what's happening.
It's going to
depend.
This
is like all these other shows that were like, oh, cool, but no thank you. Like The Boys. Yeah, let's watch the what the hell is it called? Amazon. Oh, but then we have to have Amazon Prime to watch it. No thanks.
If they come out with a first season DVD of this, I might check it.
Well, here's the question: who the hell knows if they're going to even have physical copies? They probably will. Netflix.
That would suck.
But would that not be surprising?
Do Netflix movies have physical copies?
Movies? I think so. I know the TV shows do.
Yeah, right. Because like,
but
House
I'm
of
just
Cards.
saying with Disney and their weird ways, like, oh, this is in the vault for a little while.
Yeah,
it's out of the vault. Send the submarine back up towards Earth.
It's a very permeable vault.
Yeah,
it's a lot of things just go in and out all the time. We swear this is the last time Lady and the Tramp is going to be seen.
Send it to the center of the Earth.
Yeah, it's going to be incinerated.
Yeah. Get your copy while they're still available. Yeah. I don't know.
Say your final goodbyes.
Right. So we're actually kind of surprised that this looks good. But in total, if we're talking things we're interested in that we know are going to be on Disney Plus, like not including the rumored cartoons from the 90s and such, we got 2 shows from Marvel that we actually give a shit about. 1 maybe, well, 2 maybes, but really 2, and then The Mandalorian. So that's 3 shows still.
Yeah. I don't know if it's enough, even though it is relatively cheap.
Yeah. Well, we'll just have to, as we're so fond of saying on here, we'll just have to wait and see. All right. Moving on to our next story. We're going to be talking about the Birds of Prey teaser, or what I like to call the Birds of Prey teaser for a teaser, but that other teaser that wasn't really a teaser, whatever. It was just like, it was literally, did I not say this to you, like when we were talking about this a couple weeks ago? I said to Robert, for those of you playing at home, I said, let me guess, when I heard about how short it was going to be, it was like 37 seconds, let me guess, title card, blah blah, sizzle reel. Exactly what happened.
Yep. I will say it was presented in a funny way. This was in front of it, Chapter 2. And the way it comes up, it's like they did it where it's not presented with the green MPAA card where it's like, this preview has been rated for all audiences, blah, blah, blah. It's just like you see the Warner Brothers logo come up and you see the red balloons and you're like, oh, this is it Chapter 2 starting. And then Harley Quinn comes out, Margot Robbie, and she's like, I'm so done with clowns or whatever. I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't expect that.
Right. So, for those of you playing at home, if you saw it Chapter 2, you know what we're talking about. But otherwise, yeah, as Robert said, they played the trailers. I don't know if it was like this at your theater. Then they said, now it's time for our feature presentation.
Oh, they did?
Yeah.
Okay, mine just did it. They didn't have the whole announcement.
No, see, they legit, tried to pull a fast one. And my audience didn't really seem to care.
No.
They didn't have like a react, not even like, what the hell was that? Or, wow, that looks good. They're just like, oh, that was weird.
Yeah, I had
a very jaded audience.
I mean, I admired it. I was like, oh, okay. They were just trying to mix it up.
I thought the way they did it at my theater was like, at least that was kind of a cool attempt to be like, they put it in front of the movie.
Yeah, and they tried to trick your ass. They're like, here's the red balloons. Here comes the clown person.
This has happened a couple times where it was at the end of, I think, Amazing Spider-Man. They showed part of Days of Future Past.
Yeah.
And then they did it again with another movie. I can't even remember what it was.
No. It was
Into the Spider-Verse.
Venom. At the end of Venom, right? You see Into the Spider-Verse. Am I wrong?
I think you might be right.
Yeah, I think so. It was, something like that.
So it was like a cool thing, I guess. but I don't know. Like, my theater didn't really react to it. But also, when you see the DC logo, it's like, all right, the jig is up. This isn't the movie.
Right, yeah, that was weird. I was like, DC? I'm like, what the fuck? Was there an It comic that I wasn't aware of or something?
Did you see the, the teaser before, like, when it leaked? When it was in Ukrainian or something?
Oh, yeah, no, I saw that. It was on Twitter, and I saw the images beforehand, too.
Right.
It's pretty much that. It's just a bunch of those, but they moved a little bit faster than the still images.
So, yeah, let's get on to the, 5 seconds of anything worth talking about in the teaser.
They show you nothing. But, to their credit, the nothing that they show you looks a lot better than the things that they show you in the first teaser. You know what I mean?
Like the bullshit one where it's just
they're in a studio and they're just like shooting them standing around.
They're in like a hallway with just like backlit shit where you can't see anything.
Right. This one's like, oh, that was a fight scene, or like, oh, okay, that kind of looks like a costume.
There was a solid what looked like a spinning sidekick.
Yeah, it's like that set design's weird.
Or possibly a side thrust kick. I can't tell. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
There's some sort of sidekick motion from Black Canary.
We had some purple looking, like, actual, like, comic accurate, quote unquote, looking closer like Huntress's costume.
Absolutely not.
No, the one where she's in the background, like the one where it's like Renee Montoya's in the front, and you see her in the back, but she's like still obscured, and like she's wearing a cape. It looks like. I'm like, is that
not really? Don't get your hopes up. The costumes,
at least
most of them look pretty shitty. Let's just be real.
But at least like I'm holding out hope. Like, all right, there'll be more than one attempt at this, so let's give it a shot. But
that's true.
The set design.
Well, see, that's kind of one thing I felt like was it was sort of one way and another. There was one way or the other way, in that all the Harley Quinn stuff looked real, like all of her areas and the club that Black Mask is in. Mm-hmm. Like, that all looked real crazy and whimsical, and I thought, okay, this I can roll with. Mm-hmm. But then there was also the sort of dreary, boring, dark, like
fight scene, whatever it was. They're like fighting in like a warehouse looking
place. It was just like a boring warehouse. I thought, come on now, let's go all in on one or the other.
So these guys
I'm probably making, much ado about nothing since they show us so little, but
they're still shooting, right? Like they're
doing reshoots.
Yeah, they
finished principal photography a while ago,
but they're currently doing the Chad Stahelski action reshoot.
Yeah, but I mean, this is horseshit. This movie's coming out soon.
I know.
According to the laws of nature of new movie marketing, we should have most of the plot spoon-fed to us through several trailers.
A teaser trailer, two theatrical trailers, a final trailer, and 10 TV spots. That's just how it works, people.
No, okay, but in all seriousness, an actual trailer would have been nice by now.
Yeah, I'm interested
of some sort.
I don't know when we're getting that. I don't know what
this movie's coming sooner than we think.
February. Yeah, February 7th, for God's sake.
So is that 6 months from now?
Less. Right?
Wow, yeah.
Like 5 months? 4 months?
Okay, I'm a moron. I forgot to count.
No, I mean, it's close. You're right. And I think, it's weird because, like, I don't know, man.
So about 5-6 months, whatever.
I mean, the next Marvel, Jesus Christ.
DC,
or it was Warner Brothers movie that I know for sure is coming out is Joker. But that comes out very soon, like in October.
Yeah. So
I don't think they're gonna have another trailer ready that soon. It would have to. I'm assuming they're gonna have something out in front of November, December, whatever they have coming out.
The Good Liar. I don't really think those are the same audience.
Some 75-year-old couple. Like,
So some 75-year-old couple like going and see. Oh yes, that movie about the spies. Yeah. Yes, very good.
Yes, the sledgehammer.
What is this thing about birds of prey? I don't see an eagle or a falcon. I don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. It's going to be weird to see as I stall so I can look up what movies they have coming out for the rest of the year.
I'll help you out. It is just very strange, though. As I've said, I thought we would have had a better idea of what the plot is, other than what we've read from what seems like mostly rumor mill stuff. We had one sort of synopsis, but the problem with them doing this weird style of marketing is we want to get a feel for what this movie's going to be like. And so far, I really don't feel like there's been enough to really make a judgment.
So here's what we got coming out for the rest of the year. Joker, obviously, is coming October 4th. Then we got Motherless Brooklyn coming out in November, which is an interesting-looking film. Dr. Sleep. I wouldn't put it past him to put it in front of Dr. Sleep.
But it's got to be Joker, though. I mean, if you're talking from a standpoint of what makes sense.
Exposure. A lot of people are going to be seeing that just from what we've been seeing numbers-wise.
Tracking real well, even though tracking's kind of bullshit. Tracking's usually sort of in the ballpark, though.
I mean, and especially, like, if there's a word of mouth for the movie, it's
which
probably
I most certainly think there will be.
And, like, I'm already hearing people talk about it. It'll probably be seen. But it could also be a movie that's not a Warner Brothers movie. Charlie's Angels, maybe, which would fit the comp, you know?
Right.
I don't know. Could be any of those. But, yeah, I want to see more.
That's what I'm saying. But, like, we've had all these months of them doing these, like, pardon the phrase, like, they're not even, like, a standard it's like a tease of a teaser. Mm-hmm. Just give us, like, 30 at least a fucking minute of actual shit, so we can decide whether or not this is going to be bad or not. You're just making the rabbit hole go deeper. The questions are just getting bigger. Mm-hmm. Like, you know what I mean? All the question marks we've had about this movie, just answer some of them. Fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
either that or just be like, I don't know. I wish there's a fucking way. Like, nope, not getting any trailers. Okay, great.
Yeah, the next one's going to be in 3 weeks. Okay, cool.
Yeah, just like something. Fuck.
Yeah.
It's just very bizarre. I can't really think of a time where a movie's had... It's almost like a Netflix show. You know how they usually only have trailers like the month before?
Yeah.
I'm just saying the approach is weird. And I know this is a lower budget movie than... supposedly the lowest budget of any DC movie.
What is it, like 80 to 100?
Which is... No, I think it's less than 100. Whatever. It's somewhere between... Yeah, we'll call it somewhere between 75 and 100. Point being, it's a lower budget, and I get that they're trying to take a different approach, but it's just very odd. Mm-hmm. So, you got any closing thoughts on this one?
No, just that... It's not the only Margot Robbie Harley Quinn related story on our docket for today. Our next story also involves Harley Quinn, and it's that the full cast for James Gunn's The Suicide Squad has been revealed.
But we don't know who's playing who. But, I mean, we know some of them from previous stories, but not officially in writing. But we do have the names. Go ahead and read them all.
All of these are confirmed to star in the film. We have David Dastmalchian, John Cena, Jai Courtney, Joaquin Cosio, Nathan Fillion, Joel Kinnaman, Mei Ling Flula Borg, Sean Gunn, Juan Diego Boto, Storm Reed, Pete Davidson, Taika Waititi, Alice Braga, Steve Agee, Tinashe Kahese, Daniela Melchior, Peter Capaldi, Julio Ruiz, Jennifer Holland, Viola Davis, Idris Elba, Margot Robbie, and Michael Rooker.
Okay, so Taika Waititi is definitely going to be like a Slipknot character and just die at the beginning.
Either that or he's going to be like, I swear, like a Korg type, or like maybe he'll be King Shark. I don't know.
Or he'll just be one of the inmates.
Yeah.
They just kind of briefly show him.
Yeah, I dig that. There's a couple other names in here. I'm like, oh, weird.
All right, so the point is the people who are returning, we got
Jai Courtney.
No, I'm talking about what's
the characters.
Amanda Waller.
Jesus Waller.
Christ. Amanda Waller.
Harley Quinn. Boomerang. Rick Flag. Who else we got here?
Yeah, I think. Okay, so those are all the returning ones, and that's fine because those are the ones people really care about.
Well, except for Rick Flag.
What?
Except for Rick Flag.
Yeah, I guess not.
Idris Elba, we still don't know who he's playing. Bronze Tiger.
I thought it was Bronze Tiger. Whatever.
Deadshot recast.
Yeah.
Most likely not. Probably Bronze Tiger. I mean, come on, who are we kidding?
Yes, you need it. You need a fisticuff specialist on this team.
Actually, we also do know who some of these people are playing. Like Daniela Melchior is
like
playing
Ratcatcher and some shit like
David
that.
Dastmalchian is playing Polka Dot Man.
That's right. I forgot about that. But yeah, this is much larger cast than I thought.
A lot of that guys and that ladies.
Yeah.
But
also, Nathan Fillion's definitely going to die early.
Oh, yeah.
I would guess there's, you know what, I think 4 or 5 of these are going to be...
A lot of James Gunn peeps in this. Michael Rooker, Sean Gunn, and obviously, who's the other one? Nathan Fillion you just mentioned.
All right, but here's the question. We done been fooled once by a really great cast. Mm-hmm. Oh my God, Margot Robbie, Will Smith, Viola Davis, blah, 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 oh my God. And now this is that on steroids. Mm-hmm. So will James Gunn make the difference this time, do you think?
I would think so. I mean, this is, from what we've heard, it's going to be much more rated R.
Yeah.
Especially now that we have almost confirmed that Birds of Prey is going to be rated R, right?
I think so.
I mean,
I heard some weird... No, it's supposed to be R last I heard.
Yeah, so, I mean, unless something happens, it's going to be R rated.
Yeah.
It's been all but confirmed by the MPAA from what we've heard. And, again, this also sounds like it'll be rated R, and it'll be consistent with sort of the past few movies. It'll be 3... Actually, no, I'm lying. I was going to say it'll be 3 rated R movies in a row for DC, but that's not true.
No, because
Wonder Woman.
Yeah, but it'd be... Yeah, that is weird, though. They're making a bunch, aren't they?
3 out of 4.
Wow. That is interesting. Yeah, so I don't really have much else to say. Let's move on to the next topic, shall we?
More casting news.
All right. This time it's casting for Mortal Kombat. And as we mentioned, joining... I don't remember the actors. Joining Liu Kang, Jax...
Oh, Ludi Lin and...
Yeah, sorry.
Makad Brooks.
Ludi Lin as Liu Kang and Makad Brooks as Jax and other...
CC Stringer as Melina.
Yeah, and other people. Whatever. We named the most important ones. Liu Kang and such. Anyway, we've got Hiroyuki Sanada as Scorpion, Chin Han as Shang Tsung, Jessica McNamee as Sonya, Josh Lawson as Kano, and Louis Tan in an undisclosed role. This is sounding a little too good to be true.
Yeah.
All these actual martial artists and people who fit the role all being cast.
If you're
I don't know. I feel like something's afoot here.
If you're a fan of Eastern cinema, specifically a lot of martial arts film, you are going to be... You can be a fan of a lot of these actors. Joe Taslim, Tatanobu Asano, Hiroyuki Sanada, who you may remember from the Wolverine and Avengers Endgame fame.
Yeah, he plays the dude who Hawkeye goes after
right.
in Japan.
And Chin Han of the Dark Knight fame, he was Lao. Can't forget him. Also, Louis Tan is in this, who we don't know who he's playing. Jury's out on who he's playing. I don't have a guess. Maybe...
I'm going Kung Lao.
I'm going Baraka. Let's throw some CGI makeup and dots all over that guy's face. Let's do him up.
You know what is interesting about the casting so far? I mentioned this to you earlier. They don't seem to be including any of the newer characters so far.
Yeah, I agree.
No Jackie Briggs, no
Cassie Cage, no Aaron Black
or Bo Rai Cho, or whatever. Yeah, this is mostly people from the first 2-3 games.
So maybe this will be just a straight up remake or readaptation of the first game.
Yeah, see that's kind of what's interesting. So far from the casting, I can't really tell which game's lore they're gonna draw from.
Well, there are a lot of games that have all of these characters in them, and there's not like one weird character where you're like, whoa, Striker, you know?
Yeah.
Like, what game is that?
Nightwolf or whatever the fuck.
Right. No Johnny Cage yet.
Yeah, I was thinking you got all the you got basically all the characters from the very first game except him and Goro. I think that you're right.
Yeah,
you got everyone. Well, we're still missing Reptile and all the other ninjas.
Yeah.
Noob Saibot. Smoke.
Rain? No.
Yeah, Rain's the purple one.
Guy.
And then Ermac is the red one.
Yeah. We are many, or what is it? We are Legion. He's the guy he's got a bunch of souls combined into one body.
Sure. I don't know.
Mac. But anyway,
we don't have the robot ninjas.
No.
Other
Cyrax, Other Smoke.
Other Smoke, Cyrax, and what the hell's the other one? There's another one.
God damn it. Cyrax and it's like Vector. Some Sector?
Sector. Yeah, that's it.
No robot Sub-Zero either.
What the fuck? When was that?
That was in, oh God.
Was that in like 4?
I think it was, I don't even know. It was one of those games.
Oh, we don't have Quan Chi. Oh, I don't know if we're going to do...
No Shao Kahn? Who knows?
No Sindel? Okay, hold on. Do you notice a pattern here?
Are they?
We're missing all the characters from the greatest film of all time, or rather, the greatest adaptation of Mortal Kombat of all time, and the greatest film of all time.
So help me God.
So help me God, we're missing all the characters that were key players in Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
If someone doesn't turn into a dragon in this fucking thing, I'm gonna lose my shit.
I'm leaving the theater if
as soon as the credits roll.
Yeah. Wait, that's what I do in a normal
I'm gonna
movie.
wait until the movie ends to see if anyone turns into a dragon, and then I'm gonna leave.
Oh, you're gonna sneak in to an earlier showing?
Yeah, for free.
Oh, okay. You're gonna sneak
that way
in.
I don't have to pay.
Check the credits.
Yeah.
Ah, I gotcha.
Yeah, so that way I don't have to actually see it.
All right. So that sounds like a plan. Yeah, but I'm a big fan of the casting so far. All right, on to our next story. There's a movie. It's got a trailer. It's called Killer Sofa, and it's about, dig this, a killer sofa.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they didn't have an old school 70s style horror trailer where they missed an opportunity to say, this sofa eats more than just your pocket change. You know what I mean? Killer sofa.
Yeah, like they give it like a what was that movie, Rubber?
No.
The one where it's about the killer tire.
Yeah.
You ever seen that?
No, I haven't.
Oh,
but
it's great.
No, I you know what? They're really taking things to new levels here, because we've had monsters, we've had fate, just like in Final Destination. Mm-hmm. We've had the slashers, your Jasons. We've had ghosts. Now we've got inanimate objects.
Right.
So this movie is obviously, as I said, it's about a killer sofa. It seems to be possessed of some kind. It's killing people.
Yeah, and what I loved about the trailer is that how seriously it takes everything.
I was thinking that is so weird, as when you watch a horror comedy and the performances are very over the top on purpose to make...
It's very evident that it's a horror comedy.
Right, like when you watch, what's his name? Jesus Christ. Evil Dead, Bruce Campbell's facial expressions. Mm-hmm. You're fully aware that this is supposed to be comedic. He's making real weird...
He's hamming it up.
Yeah, he's hamming it up. He's being goofy. They're really taking it seriously.
Yeah, I applaud them. This is so silly.
You imagine auditioning for this?
Oh, man. Some of the lines in the trailer, too, I don't know how you could say that with a straight face.
Right. You know what? They're giving it their all, and I salute them for that.
I'll give it a look.
So for those of you playing at home, check out the trailer for Killer Sofa, because it eats more than just pocket change.
Of course.
All right. So on to our next, another horror trailer. So... goddamn, this is the third Black Christmas. The first one was directed by Bob Clark, who also directed
the greatest Christmas movie ever, one of them.
Right, A Christmas Story. Mm-hmm. And it was a very chilling, scary movie. And then the one came out in 2006, and it was just kind of a so-so 2000 slasher, but it was still fun. Mm-hmm. It had the late, great Carrie Fisher as the house mom of the sorority girls. Mm-hmm. She had a great moment with the shotgun. It was pretty funny. Mm-hmm. So this one, what the fuck? Like, there's a lot wrong with this trailer.
Yeah.
Namely, okay, so I can't believe I'm having to do this, but spoilers for the trailer if you haven't seen the trailer. So it's kind of the same setup. It's a sorority, and they're having a party, and one of their friends goes missing. And then these hooded menaces, they're wearing like monks' robes. Mm-hmm. They break into the house, but these sorority sisters don't take no shit, and they kill one of them. And then they lift they do the Scooby-Doo, now let's see who's behind the mask. And it's not Old Man Dithers or whatever the fuck his name is. It's a statue. Or it is a person who was turned into a statue. That seems like something you maybe should have left for the audience to see when they saw the movie.
They show you who the bad guy is, like, they have, was it Carrie Elwes?
Yeah, it's Carrie Elwes.
We have traditions at this school.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, so.
So they show you the killers, or they show you that they turn into statues, like, we don't know why, but they did show you, that seems like kind of a big twist, did it not? And then on top of that, they show you their motive, as you said. He says, we have traditions at the school, and they're doing some weird, like, satanic ritual shit. Now, I thought to myself, they can't really be this dumb. I know that trailers have had a problem with showing too much, but we're talking about a slasher movie that's set up as a whodunit, right? Of sorts. Number one, they just did, like, the two of them just kill this robed dude like it's nothing. It's like, yep, this is real scary when the horror people are just like beating everyone's ass. Like, this is just an action movie. I'm like, all right, maybe I could roll with that, sure. But then on top of that, they show you the killer. They show you the killer's motive. That seems like a bit much. Right, yeah. It's a baffling choice, because honestly, I would say if you omitted that part from the trailer's better. Like, yeah. It's like, it looks okay. If you get rid of that, like, it looks okay. Right. Honestly. Like, all you had to do is leave that shit out and just find other footage to edit in. Why did you need to keep those things in? I don't know. Maybe it won't matter. Maybe there's whole other twists and turns. Maybe that's the end of Act 1. I was going to say, you know what's the one... I thought to myself, there's no way they're giving us all this. I don't know. That's what I hope. But I thought there is one possibility. What if it's just a fake out? It could be. Because what if the statue, they're like, oh, we know that the fraternity's behind this. They storm in, that scene where they're all like beating the shit out of the dudes in the robes. Like, yeah, get him. Messed with the wrong sisters. And they run at him. And it's all, I was just imagining for some reason like the Xena music. When they're running. Anyway, so they start beating the crap out of them. And then the guys are like, stop. It's just a regular hazing incident. Like, huh? What? What do you guys think we're killing you? What the fuck are you talking about? That's the one way I think they could save that twist. Yeah, I agree. It's kind of like to bring up another franchise that's having issues with its stories here and there. Like, Rey in Star Wars? Yeah. You know that they're not like, oh, her parents were nothing. You know that that's bullshit. Yeah, I think it at this point. More than likely. Yeah. They're reneging on it. Perhaps that's the case here, is they wanted to misdirect you. Yeah, I'm willing to, if that's That'd not be my guess. But here's the question. How do I know if it is or isn't until I see it? And if all I have to go off of to see it is this trailer, I see it? That's my fucking problem. Is like, what are you counting on people to be like, well, clearly this is a misdirect. Yeah. As it is obvious that no trailer would give you the killer and the motive all at the same time. Right. At what point are we bending over backward, giving benefits of doubts that we needn't do? Because, I know Marvel got away with it with the Captain Marvel punching the old lady in the face. Yeah. But to my friend who was next to me in the theater, he said, did she just punch an old lady? And then I had to be the comic nerd. Oh, it's like a scroll. So my question is, you've no benefit of the doubt. You're talking about a movie where the first one is a classic slasher and arguably one of the first. Then had a second one that I liked for what it was, but a lot of people thought it was garbage. So you're really working against yourself by making it a third time. Yeah, I agree. It's not looking too good right now, but maybe if the buzz is better when it comes out in December, maybe I'll check it out. There's nothing out in December. I know I'm going to see it because I like horror movies too much. Alrighty then. I mean, it could be fun bad. It could. I think this is a very good chance of being laughably bad. If only. Yeah, and you know what? As I say, I'd rather have something be horrible and hilarious than boring. I agree. So that's that for Black Christmas. the third time around. Okay, on to our one of our last stories. MoviePass Part 5, Endgame. We mean the Highlander one, not the Marvel one. So MoviePass 5, Endgame. MoviePass is officially no more as of the 14th of September. Well, MoviePass, you truly were the fire festival of apps.
This has been a weird few years in regards to this story. There have been price hikes and password changes and blackouts and all sorts of things, and it all came to a close with MoviePass's parent company, Helios and Matheson Analytics, saying, quote, "Efforts to recapitalize MoviePass have not been successful to date. The company is unable to predict if or when the MoviePass service will continue. We're continuing our efforts to seek financing to fund our operations. There can be no assurance that any such financing will be obtained or available on terms acceptable to the committee." And it will be coming to a close tomorrow, September 14th, as of this recording.
Okay, so let me rephrase that for them. We fucked up. We made an app that sounded too good to be true and was too good to be true. It got worse as time went on. We helped co-finance one of the worst movies ever.
Peace.
Yeah. No, like Gotti or whatever.
Well, no, I mean like literally like peace out.
Yeah. So we did everything wrong, and we pissed off all our customers. We have no money. We're in shitloads of debt, and we'll never be back. Love MoviePass.
We bumped into the ceiling, which now has to be washed and sterilized, so we get nothing. We lose. Good day, sir.
Yeah, you lose. Good day, sir.
Pretty much exactly what was said. It's going to be sad seeing him go. They were.
What are you talking about?
Well, we're not going to have as much to talk about.
Yeah, we're not going to have a punching bag. You're right.
Maybe there'll be a reboot.
Yeah, come back, guys.
MoviePass. What's the reboot going to be called? MoviePass. The beginning. I don't fucking know.
MoviePass Annihilation.
I'll be there for it.
All right. So when MoviePass comes back, which will be never, we'll be waiting in the wings. All right, so that'll do it for that. On to our last story. So, Face Off is getting a remake.
Cue the music.
Please let it die. Please let it die. Reboot, redo, remake. I don't know how much more of this shit I can take.
Yep, I think that pretty much sums up our thoughts on the matter, at least mine.
No, I agree with you on this one. That's pretty much it. All right, so that'll do it for the news.
All right, so now we move on to the review portion of the podcast where we start with our review for Ready or Not. This is a film that we were both looking forward to. It's a horror film directed by Matt Bellinelli-Olpin, a third-name person, and Tyler Gillette. This stars Samara Weaving as a newlywed who becomes hunted by her spouse's family as part of their wedding night ritual. So, it's been a little bit since I've seen this, and I can honestly say that my thoughts on the film stayed pretty much the same since I left it, which is, I didn't love it.
I didn't like this at all, or at all, that's a little harsh, but my gut reaction was simply that it was another movie where you had a great concept and a weak execution.
Oh man, you hit the nail right on the goddamn head. Which is, the concept is so good. It's so good that they had to steer all away from it. They got so scared of this concept, just staying with it. They wanted to flash it up with lore and complications and rules, and I'm like, dude, no.
But a lot of the lore sucked and wasn't really explored.
Exactly. It didn't make sense.
This movie had the problem where it would introduce a new concept or a new part of the story, but it wouldn't do anything with it. It wouldn't flesh it out.
Right.
And then at the same time, there was also a couple things, and I'll get to this in spoilers, where they just lingered on certain parts of the story that weren't that exciting, or you knew where they were going, but it kind of felt like, we know where this is going, just get on with it, you know?
Yeah. There are a lot of parts that add up to a whole here that first of all, the whole isn't really that great. But then you start to look. This is a movie that the further it goes on, you start to dissect everything you're seeing. And by the time it's over, you just start throwing out shit. You're like, this didn't need to happen. This character could have been gone. This whole element, this whole backstory thing, you could have tossed this shit out because it's just... This movie could have been streamlined a bunch because, again, this concept, a newly married woman must literally survive a night with her murderous in-laws in order to become a part of the family. That's a fucking dynamite concept, and you steered away from it, and you got too caught up in the how and the why, and you just made this movie, for me, and I know you liked it far less than I did, I thought it was okay, maybe like soft okay, like it was okay.
Yeah.
Like, I don't regret watching it, but god damn it, this could have been great.
Well, see, I think that's part of it is my initial reaction, which was I was kind of bummed out by it. Here we had an original movie, not based on anything, which we get so few of a year at this point, or at least that are worth watching. And this was just kind of another nail in the coffin of original spec scripts. Mm-hmm. So, I agree with you where there was a lot of things that didn't need to happen. But here's another thing. Didn't you feel like a lot of the best flourishes of comedy specifically were given away in the trailer?
I feel like a lot of the best flourishes of everything were given away in the trailer, including the horror, including the violence, including, yes, the comedy. I think most of this movie is given away in the trailer.
This had a severe case of, this scene. Okay, so that thing in the trailer, yep, it's going to happen next.
It's like a sing-along.
Yeah.
You see the ball bouncing across the screen, you know what I mean? You're like, and then they say this. But like, oh man, there were only, I'll sum it up as this. If you're into the horror aspect of this, there are maybe
two or three
kills that you don't see in the trailer. And none of them are really that good. One of them is the ending of the movie, which we'll get to, which is bad.
Yeah, the ending is one of the worst parts.
It's a big old cop-out, and it's so unsatisfying. A lot of people love the ending, but it's one of those where, I don't know, if it was me, if it was you, if it was Abby, we all felt the same way. But the ending happened, I'm like, oh, okay.
It just kind of felt like bullshit, and I think that has a lot to do with my next point, is that the way that the plot was laid out was kind of lazy. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of convenient moments or moments that didn't make sense where I thought, even for a horror movie, I thought, come on now, you got to think about how this logistically doesn't make sense. Mm-hmm. Or how this character would have gotten out of that scenario.
Right.
That was my one problem with the whole movie, is it seemed like a pretty easy scenario to escape from. Mm-hmm. Or at least the way they laid it out. Mm-hmm. And there was a lot of ways... There's a lot of times where I thought the movie would be over in 10 minutes if the character just did one or two things.
Yeah, and there's like you said, there are a couple moments where it's like, oh, she's home free. She did this thing right. And then something happens where like she gets pulled back in. Al Pacino in Godfather Part 3.
Yeah.
But like... It's ridiculous. You're like, oh, come on now. That wouldn't happen in real life. This would have happened. Like, come on.
Okay, I got a couple positives, though.
Yeah?
If there are some. There's some okay, fight scenes, kind of horror scenes that were pretty decent.
Yeah.
There's nothing really particularly wrong with it in that fashion. I just think the problem was the in-between time was not satisfactory. Mm-hmm. However, we did get satisfactory performances out of really most of the actors, but specifically Samara Weaving.
She was great.
And also Melanie Scrofano.
Yeah, she was really good. What'd you think of Adam Brody? I liked him.
He was okay.
I liked his character more than the performance, but he was good.
Yeah, no, but Melanie Scrofano, man, she needs to get more, like, bigger things.
She cracked me up, man.
Yeah. She's hilarious. Have you seen Letterkenny?
No, but
she's
seen
hilarious on Letterkenny.
Parts of her in it.
Yeah, this was a very different character than that one. But she, for those of you playing at home, she kind of plays. So she's part of the family that Samara Weaving's character is marrying into, and she's sort of
the sister, right?
She's the sister of the groom, and she's kind of a ditzy cokehead. Mm-hmm. So that was pretty funny. But here's another thing about her and Adam Brody's character. Didn't you feel like the first act just glossed through everything way too fast?
It took me a second to realize who everybody was for, like, a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, yeah, that's right. She's the sister.
Yeah. They blew through everything. Mm-hmm. It was a little hard to kind of get your brains. Okay, that's the sister. That's this. But I'll get to that a little bit more in spoilers. I don't know. I think... Do you want us to move on to spoilers?
Yeah, we can. I mean... Yeah, let's do spoilers. Spoiler time.
Okay, yeah. Spoiler time. Yeah. That's a new thing. We say that. Anyway. The point I was saying about them glossing over things, like the wedding scene at the beginning, it's just like boom, boom, boom.
Credits are happening.
Yeah, 4 shots.
Right.
They go to the wedding, and that's like, you barely get a chance to really get to know the character. I mean, you get to know the characters as the movie goes on, but it would have been nicer to spend a little more time with them. I don't know. That's kind of a nitpick. That was really not my main problem.
That whole scene where the scene where they're leading up to the game and they're explaining the game, did that bother you a little bit? Because the dad was like, now as you all know, proceeds to explain everything that everybody knows. And I'm like, why are you, just say... For the new person in the room, like, you don't have to say, just so we all know. I know it's a small writing thing, but, like, that's such an easy writing thing to fix.
It did feel like Peterman telling of his travels.
Yeah, it's just like, come on, man. Like, this is an easy, like, expository thing you could just smooth over and make a little bit more professional. Okay.
Yeah, you know what's another thing about that? So, the whole deal about this ritual, right? Once you figured out, they're kind of... They hint at you once. Okay, this is going to be a satanic ritual. Okay, got it. Like, as an audience member, I'm not a moron. I get it. Now let's move on or get a new development with this ritual. But they just keep saying it. The ritual. We've got to do the ritual. As if we're morons. Like, what ritual? What a mystery. Okay, we get it. It's the devil. You made a deal with the devil. Get on with it. But they just kept fixating on this ritual shit. It was just so boring. The second act is where this movie falls apart for me. Mm-hmm. I was so goddamn bored. There's like a little fight scene, like / horror, scamper around the house scene here and there. Mm-hmm. But they're just sprinkled in with these bullshit long scenes about, but the ritual, let's keep talking about it, but not explicitly saying what it is, even though the audience, if they're not brain dead, knows exactly what it is.
I did not. And that kind of speaks towards probably this movie also still isn't that good, because so wait a minute. The guy that the great whatever the fuck that he was,
but there's the part,
is he supposed to be the devil?
No, but the guy where he's texting on his phone, like, is the blank, like, satanic ritual, is it bullshit?
Okay.
There's a couple little moments.
I thought he was just joking, and then, like, because really, do you notice that, like, they say, like you said, like, I'm not saying I like caught on to everything the way it was going to play out exactly, but okay.
What I'm saying is they beat us over the head with, I get it, there's a ritual. We already knew that.
Right.
Let's move on to another development about this ritual.
See, the satanic shit really caught me off guard at the end, because, like, all of a sudden they're just like, Hail Satan, and I'm like, what?
Wait, what the hell other kind of ritual is there where it involves murder in horror movies?
There's other deities than Satan that you sacrifice shit to.
Nah, it's definitely Satan. It's always Satan.
Yeah, but it was just weird because, like, that was the first time we heard of it. You know what I mean? It's like, I don't know. Like, it's...
No, dude.
I mean, we see it on the phone.
You see it on the phone, so it shouldn't be a surprise.
Well, but I thought, like, the dude was joking because, like, that dude was kind of a goof, like...
Yeah, but I mean, what the hell else is this movie going to do? It's doing nothing. What happens in the second act?
She just runs around the house. But I just, honestly, like, it was unclear.
I love how it's like, I can't scale a fence. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I got to go through it.
You've just, like, killed 3 people?
Yeah, I got to break my ribs and go through this fence.
Yeah. Or how about the OnStar thing with the car?
That was what I was talking about. We're like, come now. This wouldn't happen in real life.
All she had to do was say, all right, fine, you got me. I stole the car. Come arrest me.
Yeah.
Like, that was just so dumb. Or how about this? Oh, God, I guess I can't get out of the fucking car and walk to somewhere else. It's not like you're on a guy. It's not like this is Hans Island and fucking Enter the Dragon.
Yeah.
No guns. He's fearful of assassination. Like, this is... I'm sorry. Even if it's a horror movie, you can't just bullshit us like that. That's weak. That's weak sauce.
Let's talk the ending. And this movie starts to fall apart immediately when the husband, who is so fucking dead set on this woman, on Samara Weaving, and his future with her. And he just fucking heel-face turns for no goddamn reason. She kills his mom?
Yeah.
So the fuck what? Your mom that you threatened to murder 5 minutes ago, you dumb motherfucker? Or no, by you dumb motherfucker, I mean the writer.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding. But still, though, like, come on. And Abby, God love her, she called it in the fucking theater. She's like, oh, they're going to kill his ass. The only reason they did that is to justify us not feeling bad for him.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, fuck, here we go. And then they all start blowing up. And I'm like, oh, no.
Okay, talk about an obvious fake out. Mm-hmm. You know that's bullshit. Oh, nothing's happening. All right, here we go. They're all going to die.
Yeah.
Oh, here we go. And you know, it's horse shit. I think people just like the idea that they exploded more than, oh, that was unexpected that they exploded. It's not unexpected that the ritual was going to turn out to be real. Mm-hmm. That was not unexpected at all. Who cares?
Also, wasn't she, and this is where the rules of the movie fucking kind of self-implode on itself. Isn't she a member of the family? Wouldn't she blow up too? Or did they blow up first? Am I overthinking this because the rules of this movie don't make any goddamn sense?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
damn it.
This movie is just full of like really bad writing choices. Another one I didn't like is Adrian Brody's character. Yeah, just go ahead, get out of here. See,
Adrian Brody,
whatever the fuck his name is, Adam Brody.
Adam Brody, yeah, not
okay.
The OC Brody, not the King Kong Brody.
So. O.C. Chad McBroseph, he runs into Samara Weaving, and then he's like, oh, I got you dead to rights, but I like you or something, I guess, so I'll let you go. Give you a 10-second head start. That's a case of, why don't you just shoot him if you're so dead set on like, if you're the bad guy, shoot this person. And it's like that. Like the old James Bond trope. I've got you right where I want, Mr. Bond.
Now I'm going to leave the room.
Yeah, exactly. It's like they point that out in Austin Powers. But I'm just going to slowly dip him in with the mechanism and hope that things work out.
What?
Yeah.
But yeah, that's honestly... going back to the ending thing, yeah, this movie just gets caught up and it stumbles and gets... tangled up in its own rules and its hows and its
4 or 5 times where it's like they have her and then, oh yeah, I'm gonna put her in the back seat and not tie her up and
turn the music really loud. So
that's just bullshit. Like, are these people all complete morons? Now
it sounds like I'm shitting all over this movie. Like there are things about it that are fine. Like the horror elements are like I was never really bored. Like there are slow parts
during the parts of the second act.
I was bored during the parts of the second act that I'd seen in the trailer. Yeah, specifically like, oh, here's the part where they shoot the maid. Here's the part where blah 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 happens. But like, it's okay. Like it's for me, it was watchable.
All right,
that's it.
Yeah. All right, so let's move on to scores. Then what do you got?
It's a 6.
A 6 out of
10.
All right, I'm not going to deviate too much from you. I'm going to give this a 2.5 out of 5, just because even though it had a lot of problems, I would say it's watchable. So that's why I have to give it at least the extra 0.5.
All right, that brings us to a grand total of 8.5 out of 15. That's not great.
Yeah, if only this could have used a rewrite. So that'll do it for our review of The House Was Unlocked at One Point, You Dumbass. And now we move on to our review of It Chapter 2, directed by Andy Muschietti. So this movie is obviously the continuation, or rather the conclusion, of It Chapter 1, as we all learned it was titled at the end.
Retroactively.
Retroactively at the end credits. Mm-hmm. So this is the conclusion to, one of the largest horror stories. Mm-hmm. It is in over a 1,200-page book. Mm-hmm. And I'll say this. Honestly, adapting this at all, even across 2 movies, that's a daunting task, and I realized how hard it really is because there's so much in the book. Mm-hmm. And I guess my gut reaction is the fact that, well, it was a disappointing but watchable follow-up to the first movie.
Yeah, and that I put a lot of stock in that because you were someone that read the book fully. I have not read the book. I'm familiar with the plot synopsis of the book, and I watched the miniseries.
Right.
And I was a big fan of the first one, as you were as well. More than me. I think I gave it an 8 out of 10, and you gave it a perfect score.
Oh, how dare you. That was a perfect score if I've ever seen one.
I really loved the first one, and I gotta apologize right now. I loved this one.
Oh, you're fucking kidding me.
I know. No. That doesn't mean I think it's a better movie.
I'm predicting your score right now. I'm going to go with 7.5.
Do you want me to give you my score now or no?
No.
Okay, we'll
find out at the end of the review.
I really like the first one. I think it's a better, just classical film. It's structured better.
Right.
It's safer. This one swings really hard, man. They swing really fucking hard. It's 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Yeah, it's a long movie.
And there's a lot of weird shit in this, man. This steers into the weird hardcore. And I really admired it. I admired it more as an attempt, as like this kind of like wabi-sabi type attempt at trying to do something right. And it's not perfect, hence the wabi-sabi. It's close for me.
Well, to me, I have a problem when people get so suckered in. Well, the attempt at blank was cool, but you have to have good execution. And in some parts of the movie, particularly in a lot of the third act, a lot of that execution was really good.
Oh, yeah.
But there was some glaring issues throughout the movie for me.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, had a little bit of Marvel syndrome. Let's take none of this seriously at all. Let's keep adding jokes that don't belong and jokes that just swing and miss miserably.
Really? Oh my god, I was fucking dying. My theater was dying. Fucking Bill Hader, man. I don't know. He was
all right.
He was fucking amazing. I was fucking, dude, for me, and it wasn't even so much him. It was there was at no fucking point was I like, that's just somebody doing an impression of Finn Wolfhard from It Chapter 1. I'm like, this is Richie and Eddie hanging out at a Chinese restaurant and shooting shit again.
I wholeheartedly disagree. I thought all of them in a group, it just felt so forced and unnatural. Like, remember this, guys? Yeah, we were friends once. Ha ha ha.
That was the scene that, up until that point, I was really worried about the movie. Like, the opening scene, I'm like, I don't know about this.
Yeah.
This is, it's, the idea of it's good, but, you can tell it's, this scene hasn't been updated for current year. And, they needed to fix things. But, again, that scene where they're in the restaurant and they're shooting the shit, I'm like, oh, okay, so, there's joy to be had here. They're friends. They're hanging out. They haven't seen each other.
I didn't really buy it. They were friends reunited. I didn't feel it.
I feel you.
And then I felt like it for a couple of them. Yeah, Eddie and Richie, it felt like, yeah, they hadn't seen each other in a while.
Right.
And a little bit between Beverly and Bill. Oh yeah, But some of them I'm just like, eh. And
yeah, the other thing is that, oh man, how did you feel about the weirdness? Because obviously Stephen King and weird go together lamb and mint jelly.
Well, I guess the weirdness, I can kind of put it this way. The psychedelic aspects were barely touched upon in the first one.
Yes.
And that's why I felt like they were a little dropped in the second one.
Mm-hmm.
Not that was really all a bad thing. It's just, it would be kind of nice if they had a little more of it in the first movie. And they had plenty of opportunities to. So, and they kind of made up with that with some of the flashbacks. That helped a little bit. But at the same time, it would have been nice if there was a little bit more of that in the first movie. I felt like Eddie was kind of annoying.
The James Ransone performance?
Yeah.
I was okay with I thought he did well.
Thought he was a little irritating. He just kept making those dumb, the Jackie Chan faces in his, Shanghai Noon when he'll be trying, like getting the crap beat out of him, but he's like also making it funny because he's like, hey, I'm trying to make this like lighthearted. He kept doing that in scenes that were supposed to be serious, and it was really annoying. And I understand, just like, see, the first one I thought did a much better job of balancing comedic parts with serious parts. I felt like this had a lot of moments where you were just trying to fit a joke in that didn't really fit. And there's one particularly with Eddie when he goes, well, minor spoiler, when he goes back to Derry.
Yeah, I've heard that as well. But
I mean, it's like a really short thing, but it completely kills the whole scene.
Yeah, the thing with that is, for me, is the first one did that a couple times as well.
Yeah.
Like, there's a scene especially involving, I mean, it didn't happen during scary scenes, but there's a scene involving, like, the rock fight scene in the first one is shot really fucking weird. Like, it's not a bad scene, but I'm like, this isn't the same movie.
But that's like basically how it was in the book, so eat shit.
Well, I mean, I've got no problem with it being shot like that, but the music, I'm like, I don't like change the score.
Was it Metallica or something?
It was like some weird like rock music. I'm like,
I thought it was Metallica, wasn't it?
Was it actually Metallica?
I thought wasn't it Fight Fire with Fire? I don't know.
It might have been, but it just was a weird pull, and like, I think some of that's here again, and it's weird. Like, it's weird, and like that's what I liked is. Okay, so you know how we talked about with Bad Times at El Royale and Midsummer, you had a director that had a really good first movie, and the studio was like, fuck it, go ahead and do whatever you want for the second one?
Yeah.
I feel like that's what Warner Brothers did here, but for me, the dude actually showed up and was like, you know what, no, I'm gonna show them what I can do. Like, not even just like, he didn't write the script, but like, as a director,
yeah.
Holy shit. Andy Muschietti directed the shit out of this. There's so many like transitions between flashbacks and current scenes and like just weird visual things that he does where I'm like, how the fuck did you come up with that shit, man?
No, yeah, there are some really cool visual transitions, but I think there's a couple things. Okay, there's one aspect that I think was, I mean, partly a writing issue, partly a directing issue. I just didn't feel like Pennywise was that scary. There's only 3 scenes where I was really freaked out by Pennywise in this movie, but overall, he kind of felt... It reminds me of the later Freddy Krueger movies where he's no longer this dude that pops up and is scary. It's just, he's just eating up, he's just chewing on the scenery. He's into almost... I don't want to say Pennywise was in it too much because he really wasn't.
No, he was.
But I'm saying the scenes where he does appear, they kind of feel like, here I am.
Right.
It's not him being like really, really freaky and.
Yeah, there's not like a slideshow scene where it's like, oh shit, he kind of like lurks in. He just kind of like appears.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, hey, yo, what's up?
Yeah, I feel you.
There's 3 scenes that I think do Pennywise justice, but there's a few more that don't. Also, Mike Hanlon, I felt like he was kind of weird because he was so exasperated, which in the book and in the miniseries, he's much more, I don't want to say stoic, but he's a little more like, he has his shit together a little bit more. He's not like, guys, we got to do the ritual. It reminded me of like when in Dragon Ball Z, like Frieza shows up and they're like, they're just standing there making noises. Yeah. Oh no! If we don't get Goku to go Super Saiyan, weird Dragon Ball Z breathing noises. That was Mike Hanlon.
Yeah,
and it wasn't that his performance was bad. It's just I didn't think they were gonna go that route with his character. This
definite sense I got from him was like he's the one that's most different personality-wise out of them all because he's the only one that stayed in Derry. So he's just like kind of more awkward and more like nervous than they are.
Yeah.
But yeah, I get what you mean. It didn't really super bother me. I was fine with every performance.
It wasn't like, oh my God, this is ruining the movie. I hate it. It's just, I don't know. I thought it was a weird way to go.
There's a scene involving Mike Hanlon and Native Americans, and it's a flashback, and I was like, all right, this movie just got really fucking wild, and I love it.
All right, so do you want to move on to spoilers?
Let's.
Okay, So the 3 scenes that I thought Pennywise was great in,
all the scenes where he kills kids,
basically. No, there was no. I think I had one where the hell was it?
Well, the two.
Okay, it was there's one, but we saw it in the fucking trailer almost in its entirety. The Marsh apartment was really good, where Beverly visits her old apartment.
Oh yeah, where he does got the makeup on.
Whoa! Yeah. See, that's the kind of shit I signed up for with Pennywise, where he's really, really freaky. The Bleachers was really good.
That was real fucked up.
What I love about that too is he drags her in. And they even have the Disney-esque score, if I'm not mistaken, to go along with it. You're gonna make fun of me. Do 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 do. There was that, and then of course, I think my favorite part with Pennywise, the fucking House of Mirrors.
Yikes!
Oh man. Boom, boom, just keeps headbutting it.
This movie was even more unflinchingly like, not only are we going to show kids die more gruesomely, but there's going to be like 3 of them that die.
Yeah.
Like, oh man, they go whole hog on that. Yikes.
But there's just too many scenes that are just kind of weak sauce with him. Like the Richie flashback was real shitty.
Okay, yeah.
I thought it was done better in the book. If I'm being honest with you, I thought the book was better.
I hear you.
Which I hate saying because it's almost never true. I'm sorry. A book is an inferior medium.
Yeah, no, I get that.
But no, I'm just saying I did. You know what I'd say? The book and the first movie were even. This I can't say the same. But in the book, he gets like mercilessly chased by Bowers instead of him just like
leaving.
Just like being like, get out here, like stop hitting on my cousin or whatever the fuck he was saying. Like Bowers like chases him through town, and then the Paul Bunyan shit all happens, if I'm remembering correctly. I mean, Jesus Christ, it's a 1,000-page book. It's hard to remember the exact chronological details. But I don't know. I just thought like his flashback was kind of weak sauce. Thought most of the flashbacks were like when they get back into town. Thought most of them were kind of weak. The only one I really, really liked was the Ben one.
What happens there again?
He goes to the schoolroom, and then Beverly goes, "Why would I ever like you, you fat, disgusting blah, blah," like her headlights on fire. Yeah,
you know what's weird is
that's the kind of unsettling stuff that works, and it's another example of like one of Ben's fears. Oh, I like Beverly. I'd hate for her to like think I'm a loser, and that's what it did. Obviously, in the first movie and the first book, is it's combining the fantastic horror with the real horror. And like that's something Stephen King's just really good at in general.
The one thing I'll say about the second act also is that like it starts and it really is just like we go from one character. Oh, Ben or Bill's gonna find his totem. Oh, here comes the scene. Oh, he has a delusion. He has a hallucination. Oh, now he's got his totem. Now we go to Ben. Oh, Ben's got to get his totem. And like at the start of every scene, I was like, we're really doing this again? But at the end of every scene, I was like, oh, that was pretty good. Like, I thought the hallucination was cool. And like, but it's, I get it where it's like, it was the same structure every time. But I liked it. It's a weird one, man. It's a weird movie.
No, that's what I'm saying. I didn't hate this. It's just I had a few glaring issues throughout.
Right.
And again, it was one of those things where even when it wasn't scary, it was competently directed. Because this felt to me almost like an adult version of the Goonies, like Goonies all grown up,
especially the end,
right?
Which, by the way, that ending, battle
that ending is awesome.
Gave me a little bit of confidence if indeed Andy Muschietti is directing the Flash.
Right.
All right, man, you can do some action here and there. Go ahead.
No, definitely. I was gonna say it was cool. Wasn't very scary, but it was very psychedelic intense. And sci-fi and fantasy and all these other weird elements blending together.
For sure.
I like the way that the transition, what the hell was, there was one really weird one where it's like he was digging through dirt and then somehow ended up in Beverly's weird like dream world shit.
Oh my God. Oh, you're talking about with Ben?
Yeah.
The fucking like hallucinations like bleeding into each other. She's in the bathroom with all the blood. He's in the fort with, I'm like, what the fuck is going on? I love it. This is so crazy.
No, it was pretty cool. I liked a lot of that stuff. It was a visually very interesting and well done sequence.
Oh, yeah.
And to be fair, the book does kind of get less scary at that point because they are adults. They're like, look, we're going to kick this guy's ass. It's going to be fine. Right. So I guess on that parallel, I didn't mind it. Mm-hmm. The ritual chud, again, I just love that they got that in there. However, I do kind of wish they went a little harder in the paint on that. Because in the book, it gets very, very, very weird. Mm-hmm. Like, it's the kind of shit where, you know, when you learn about this color can't be seen by the natural eye or whatever, like humans can't comprehend that. He goes into that kind of stuff, and this kind of barely scratched the surface of the cosmic nature of it and its
deadlights and
omnipotence. Which, again, I get it. I mean, you tried it's a 3-hour movie. It would have taken a little bit longer even to do that. Mm-hmm. But there was one thing I really wish they had done in the flashbacks that was in the book was where they're in their fort and they call it the like smoke spot or whatever. I can't remember what the hell they call it. But they get in this little like area of the fort and they close it and they like light this weird like fire and then they all hallucinate, and that's how they're first made aware of like Chud and like the turtle and all that really weird shit that is almost zero mention in the book, or in the movie, rather. I thought they were going to do that in the flashback. They didn't, but it was, you know, it was handled pretty good. You know, it's just, I guess that's just my bias. Right. I also did this in the totally wrong fucking order, because I watched the first movie, read the book, then saw the second movie.
Oh, interesting, yeah.
No, or I think because I remember when I was reading the book, I kept imagining the characters from the miniseries and the movie.
Okay, yeah. No, I hear you.
Yeah, so the comedy beat that ruined a fucking scene.
What's that?
Good on my angel. Like, I laughed a little, but I'm also like, way to ruin the fucking horror.
I mean, for me, it wasn't really a scary scene to begin. I mean, it was scary, but like as soon as the leper showed up, it's like there was like that release of like, oh fuck, the jump scare has arrived, and now it's just like and then like that, like it was just such a weird scene from that point on. Like them putting that on top, it made me laugh. But was it necessary? Probably not.
No, and that's kind of like I had what's that guy's name? Ransone. He was all right, but sometimes he was laying it on a little thick.
Sure.
Also, the Stanley letter. Give me a fucking break. Dear guys, I'm going to bitch out for my obligation, but I'm going to use mental gymnastics to rationalize it. Yeah. In fact, I'm going to use so much rationalization, I'd make a room of AA drunks blush.
Yeah.
Like, give me a fucking break. Like, that was such bullshit. Guys, I'm going to bitch out. Like, sorry, not going to make it.
I wish they would have just steered harder into, like, no, dude, this thing fucking bit my head. Like, no. Like, I can't fucking do this. I'm out.
Or what if he just didn't say anything?
Leave it up to fucking...
Oh, because you know what he does in the book? He just writes it in blood.
Right. Like, that was on the show, too.
Yeah. It's like, I wonder what he's trying to say.
I like the fortune cookie thing, though.
Yeah. They also completely did away with the significance Tom Rogan comes after them and then gets eaten by it. The husband.
Yeah, and Audra Phillips.
Yeah, barely in it. And she actually
dead-lighted and goes into a coma.
Yeah,
but she's in the movie.
Yeah, spoilers for the book. So Bill and Beverly bang when they're adults, and then
just kind of hinted at in this, but they don't really.
Yeah, but anyway, they kind of hint that there's like a little spark. But anyway, he goes back to Audra and it's just like, fuck it, I'm just not going to tell her. Well, and but yeah, she's like a big part of the end of the book.
I mean, at the end of the movie, like she's not even like he's like in that. He's like in the. It looked like the same fucking like apart or like den / writing area at the end of Stand By Me.
Yeah,
with Richard Dreyfuss. And there's no Audra Phillips there. I just assumed he fucking left her.
Yeah, whatever. All right, so I guess we'll just move on to scores. So. Again, because this was pretty good, and the fact that it's a 3-hour movie that's watchable, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5. Because overall, it was pretty decent, but I was disappointed in comparison to the first one.
I walked into this with very, very low expectations because I heard the word of mouth was really not great.
Yeah.
That, I think, significantly affected my resulting score, which was a lot higher than I ever anticipated. I appreciated the weird. I appreciated the big swing. The director flexing his muscles. I give it an 8.5.
8.5. I was wrong. I can't believe it.
I'm shocked that I liked this as much as I did.
So you're saying you like this more than the first?
That doesn't mean I think it's better than the first.
That's outrageous.
I admire this one more just as a movie. Like, goddamn, this one had a lot more to do.
I absolutely don't admire this more as a movie. This was a watchable but mediocre follow-up to a classic.
That's fair.
So I'm just going to talk over you and fuck you. No, but all right. That gives us a grand total of
11.5
all right,
out of 15.
All right, so it made pretty decent marks. So that'll do it for our review of 99 Red Balloons and Murder. Thank you for listening to Bonus Features with Alex and Robert, episode 55. We hope you enjoyed the show. But before we go, it's time for album recommendations. We're going to do one new one and one old one. So for my new one, I'm going to suggest White Denim's Side Effects. It's a pretty neat album. I think my favorite track off it is NY Money. Bit of a longer jam, kind of old school 60s rock kind of vibe. For my old school album, I'm going to go with the 1987 thrash metal classic by Toxic called World Circus. It includes a fun track where they play Gladiators entrance, whatever the hell that, the circus song.
Yeah, I know the Gladiators or something like that.
Yeah, Enter the Gladiators. And it's they play it with a fast, obnoxious, a metal version of it. And then they go into their song, which is, of course, the titular track of the album, World Circus.
That's nice.
It's a classic.
Cool.
What do you got?
So for my new album, and by new, I mean 12-year-old album, I'm doing some fan favorites here.
Okay.
I'm doing Rainbows by Radiohead.
Ooh, that's a good album.
It's a classic.
But at the same time, way to not follow instructions. How dare you?
I know. This is the newest thing I've been listening to.
You disgust me. No, but that is a fantastic album. They actually played all of it when I saw them at Lollapalooza.
Oh, it's so fucking good.
Scattered here and there, but I counted. They played all 10 tracks.
And I know Radiohead's not for everybody, but if you're a Radiohead entry-level person, Reckoner, man. That's a fucking dope song. And for my old album...
15 Steps is one of my favorites off that album.
That's a fucking good... Oh, God. That's a good album. Anyway.
Yeah.
Old one. Another fan favorite. Fly Like an Eagle by Steve Miller Band from 1976.
Classic.
It's fucking good. It's a good listen.
Any song that's used in Space Jam.
Oh, man. Fuck that Seal cover.
Yo.
I mean, whatever. I'll take what I can get, but damn, that's a good song.
But any song that would be used in Space Jam, cover or not, still worth listening to.
Dude, I remember, I don't know what it was, but for me, listening to that song, Fly Like an Eagle, including the space intro, it would just remind me of driving to Chicago to see a Bulls game.
Yeah.
God damn. Good shit.
I think Pretty Lights did a really cool remix of Fly Like an Eagle.
God damn it. It's just such a good song.
It's a great song.
But yeah, those are my albums.
All right, so make sure to follow us on all the social media, and that includes iTunes. Yes, that's right, we're on iTunes. Do you like iTunes? I'm just going to keep saying iTunes till you get the point that we really want you to listen to us on iTunes. No, but seriously, we're on iTunes, which also means... because you have to do the RSS feed nonsense. We're also on Shout Engine and Spotify, and we're on YouTube. But then you can also drop us a line on Facebook. Oh yeah, and what's that other one? What was it called?
Something, Twitch. We're on Twitch, right?
Tweety Bird.
We're on Twitch now.
Oh, no.
Oh, wait, no, Twitch. Different. Twitter.
We're on Twitter.
Twitter, not Twitch. Twitter. Yikes.
Yeah, it's a shame. Oh, well. Yeah, but yeah, that'll do it. So, see you guys next time.